I'm Pam Soderquist.
I'm Pam's mother, Marilyn Stevens.
So then is that the other?
That's my other set of grandparents.
Yeah, you get to keep it. So,
So this one is, Edward Lance Jones and Agnes Josephine Houston.
hey, it can happen.
Yeah, I know.
And they were married August 14th, 1895.
I feel like the quilt one's just hiding.
Just 10 years later than
My mother
the
told me
Peterson
this out
side
of
of
the
the
State
family.
Historical Society. Oh, and then this. This here.
And actually, before they were married,
Yeah,
uh,
this here. she filled
my
out.
grandfather was Edward Lance
I didn't
Jones,
know whether,
and he was teaching school that my grandmother attended.
there, that's what she filled out.
She had really been to college, I believe, 1 year, and they couldn't afford to send her the next year, so they insisted that her parents were
Oh, I know, where's that?
strong on education. They insisted that she attend the class that this Dr. Jones
I had another one.
was teaching, so, and he was struck with her charmingness, and probably now you'd have a hullabaloo about the teacher-student relationship, perhaps. Yeah, that's her picture. That was her wedding picture.
Yeah, that'll just go by the family. It's
And she's the one,
She's the one who became a doctor. And that next page is a picture of her graduation picture. Well, yeah, that was when she graduated from the medical college.
We lived in Poughkeepsie, New York.
And in fact, she was pregnant with my mother when she was doing her last year of
Paper that they
of school.
gave the,
And-
well, to make the
And at times took, after mother was born, took her to class with her.
Can't imagine doing that.
and how many kids did they have? They had like,
They had 8 children. One died at the age of 3 months, and one, I believe, was stillborn. But they raised six children, five girls and 1 boy. The first place that she went to was an Indian, native Indian facility in Oklahoma, and that she took the kids with her, and but then moved back to this area. At one time, he was a physician in Raymond, Nebraska, and she was a physician in Denton, Nebraska.
and then when he was a physician in Greenwood, that's when they had a fire that destroyed his office and his x-ray equipment.
Yeah. And after that, they ended up in Montana for a period of time.
What website did you guys find out from?
That's, here, I'll just,
Somebody
that's
else
the
in the
link
family
that I
got
showed you.
Oh, that's the link on here.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
the link.
perfect.
But I'll just give that to you for.
I'm getting most of my notes on this.
I'll just
And
send
they,
those with them so that
she
they
was
know.
not related to Sam Houston.
That's correct.
Okay.
I wrote it down so they know. Yeah, because we can give you guys back this stuff when we bring it back down.
Let's see. Do you know, I guess, anything more about Agnes? Is our, I guess our curation theme is occupation.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just found that out. So, so I guess if we have anything more about her being a doctor, I don't know.
Well,
Do you have anything about that?
it was highly unusual in that time for her to be a doctor in the first place. My grandfather started out with his main profession being a school teacher or a superintendent, and he was, I think, recognized as being a good teacher. But he was kind of a restless soul, it sounds like, from what he would go from one thing to another, and he came on this, he thought that my grandmother would make a good doctor, and in fact, my mother said she felt that he thought she was a better doctor than he was. But he said he had some rather poor health throughout the years and required a little help of himself. And in fact passed away when I was only 2 years old, so I really didn't get to be acquainted with him at all.
So
But I think people were skeptical of a woman doctor at that time. Because when my parents got acquainted, she was a doctor in Denton. And my dad said, well, that couldn't amount to anything good. But he ended up marrying her daughter. But
I never heard that one.
So she, in this area, she was a doctor. She was in Denton for a period of time, and when my grandfather got ill, she moved back to Raymond. And she was a physician there, taking care of him and taking care of other people. But I know my one aunt said she had a tremendously large doctor's bag. You know, if someone called.
That's what we should have brought.
We don't have that.
Terry does.
That was all the stuff that was in our family room. Yeah, we had
No, Missy got.
Oh, they gave it to Missy?
Yeah,
Okay,
Nancy asked for it back.
okay.
It's just been in
yeah, who in our family saved all of this and preserved all of this? Would be through
Probably my mother mainly.
Eleanor.
Eleanor Peterson.
How long has your family been in Nebraska for?
How long has our family been in Nebraska? I'm trying to think where Grandma was born. Over 100 years, let me think.
Oh, my son,
Oh,
I'm trying to think how she got,
this
her
one.
family was out in,
I didn't volunteer.
She was born in 1876.
one thing that my grandmother did was she lived in a sod house for several years before she was married. Her family had a sod house in central Nebraska. And she was caught in a thunderstorm, got struck by lightning on the heel of one of her feet in the doorway.
Oh, wow. Is that Agnes?
Yes.
Agnes, yes.
Okay.
Because it was Agnes, Eleanor, you, Marilyn.
Uh-huh. Good job. And Agnes was born in Nebraska, wasn't she?
I think so. Because I think her dad farmed out there in central Nebraska.